It's time for the summer draft. Oh, the draft we do once a season. Yes, once a season, every 3 months or so. We pick a different topic, and we attempt to draft our selections based on that bit of business.
All the mic stands are like super lubed up right now. They're just slipping and sliding everywhere.
It's me, one of your draftees, your boy Seed, the host of all this bit of business, and I have some of the usual suspects with me. To my right, who do I have?
You're right.
Let's do that. Let's crunch
Oh
the
yeah, that would be.
directions on this.
Yes, I'm Jerron Jackson.
Yes, you are.
Yes.
All right, well, okay.
That's all I got right now. It's been a rough year, man. It's been a rough year.
But you're here.
The Germontourage is dead.
It's been decimated. Decimated.
COVID got them. They had a COVID party, those stupid bastards.
Okay, and to the left of me, who do I have?
You have me. I remain Brian Martin.
Yes, a one-time champ of the draft.
One-time draft champion, yeah.
Yes,
Let's make
trying
it two.
hard to make it two. Dramon trying hard to get his first one on the board.
I'm just disenfranchised after that TV one, man.
You came close. You came real
Man.
close.
Good Lord.
I thought you had that one.
Damn.
That was a rough draft.
That
Yeah.
was a real rough draft. And then across the table should be Poprika's Pete Lentz, who is missing in action right now. So what we are doing to fill in for the role of Pete Lentz, we have a pair of boobs sitting on the table, which is Pete's totem, if you know anything about Pete Lentz. We have a randomizing app.
At the end of the movie, you'll be like, did the boobs fall or did they stay up?
They are some tick old biddies too, man.
Well, it depends on what age they are.
Did the titties sag?
Were they real at all? Or are they fake? So, yes, we have a randomizing app that will draft in lieu of Pete Lentz. So it'll be interesting to see what his list comes up with.
We've randomized 30 Paul Verhoeven movies.
Did he do that much in the 80s?
Pete went back in time to convince him back in the 70s, you got to do more movies in the 80s.
Nothing but Rennie Harlan movies and Paul Verhoeven films.
Oh, here he goes. I thought it was at 12. Did he not pay attention to the...
Oh, it was
the
at
time
12.
shift?
We were going to do
Yeah,
it at 12, weren't we?
We're going to do it at 12.
Yeah, there was
he
a
just
time
messaged me.
shift.
Well, sorry, Pete. There you go.
He can join halfway through and
finish out the list?
Yeah, and just take whatever we got left.
All right, then.
Just give him the first half, randomize the first half, and then he'll.
We might have to do that. Let's let Pete know. We're randomizing your list until you get here.
Or you just get here and wait until the end to pick all 10 at once, and he's just got whatever's left over.
Until you get here.
Oh,
if you
shit.
get here. Now, we're picking our numbers to figure out what our order is going to be. Mr. Jackson, what number are you?
I got 4.
Whoa. No, that ain't right.
What you get, Mr. Martin?
3.
All right, Brian.
How is Pete?
Pete is 1.
Pete got 1? Are you kidding me?
Yep.
Oh, son of a bitch.
This is going to be fucked up.
Okay, then. Well, if you've never listened to this, basically what we do is we're going to do what's called a snake draft, in which it will go 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 3, 2, 1, and so on and so forth. We will be picking our movies, discuss them for a little bit, and then moving on. And then at the end of all this, we will have our list put up anonymously on the Facebook page, facebook.com/groups/Poprika Podcast, where you can vote on who you think had the best list to draft it. And the winner gets, I was about to hold it up and show like there's a camera anywhere.
We're just used to Zoom.
All right, the winner gets a giant infinity gauntlet. Let's get this bad boy rolling. Okay, so randomizing Pete gets the first one.
Big money,
So
no whammies.
Pete's first movie is Friday the 13th.
I somehow think he's okay
I feel
with
like he
that.
would have picked that, too. I really feel like he would have picked that.
All right, then. Pete's starting off strong with Friday the 13th.
I mean, it's got everything he loves in it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Death and boobs.
And that ending, man. Oh,
You know,
man, the ending.
he's on his way, he said. I will let him know he picked Friday the 13th first. Will you guys chat about this real quick, if you could, please?
I still love the last shot of the movie where Jason comes out of the lake. Spoilers for I don't know, a 40-year-old movie.
Yes, I 1000% agree.
It's a great ending. And the killer being his mom is actually kind of a cool twist.
Right, because like they kind of build up the legend of Jason, right? So you're expecting it to be Jason this whole time. Yeah.
It's kind of weird, especially if because I never saw the first one. I saw later installments. So yeah, of course, the whole legend and lore of Jason was always built up. But then when you realize in the first one, like, wait, it wasn't him?
There's a whole generation of people who didn't realize that until Scream came out.
Yeah.
Right.
Because there's a reference to it in Scream.
A whole bunch of 90s kids who hadn't watched Friday the 13th. They just seen whatever was out at that time, like Jason Takes Manhattan or something.
Freddy and
like
Jason.
that.
Freddy and Jason. They're the two, right?
Yeah,
No.
yeah.
Mrs. Voorhees.
Mrs. Voorhees out there mercilessly clapping fools. Good choice. Friday the 13th. Sorry for you, Pete. Pete has told me he is on his way, so I just expect him to come in here just drenched in sweats, wild-eyed.
But his back half is going to be just solid fucking gold.
We need to move as quick as possible, so he only has like 3 choices left when he gets here. All right, moving on. I got to keep this shit tight. I'm going to take my first choice off the board is Aliens.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Nice.
I'm taking Aliens as my number 1 choice. It is the James Cameron joint. James Cameron, who recently got blown out by Akira Kurosawa in the best directors list over there in the Poprika draft. Well, it was embarrassing. I feel sorry. He called me up later and he's like, "What the fuck, man?" The Aliens is the perfect blend of science fiction and action.
Yes.
I think it took a franchise that was one thing. It's like the first multi-genre franchise, as far as I know. Like one was straight horror, sci-fi, and this shit went over here all the way to action.
I can't believe that Alien 3, which came out right in the 90s, wasn't like about alien abductions, like they're taking like cows and farmers onto their ship and deliberately putting face huggers on them.
You know what?
Because that's what was big. You could just let's make this a weird, creepy conspiracy movie. Now.
What year is Aliens 3?
86,
Alien 3 was,
I want to say.
Alien 3 was 91.
3 rather, yeah.
91. Okay, so
90,
X-Files
yeah,
hadn't
91.
really landed that big.
David
Man,
Fincher's,
wow.
that was Fincher's directorial debut.
He'd rather forget it.
Yeah.
I will be bringing that up because it's Fincher versus Quentin Tarantino next
Oh,
week.
boy.
So I make sure to help my
That's
boy
gonna be a good
Tarantino out. No, it's Fincher's going to blow Tarantino out of the water.
I mean, it's still, I think it's better than Cameron and Kurosawa.
That's a good point. Favorite part of Aliens?
Oh, man, the probably the power loader scene where where Ripley, finally shows up with the face the Queen Alien and
Get away from her, you bitch.
Yeah.
That's the money shot.
Yes.
Right there.
Yeah, they had that weird, like, I know how to work one of those earlier in the movie
Yeah,
just to set up
yeah.
for that at the very end. Yeah. What about you, Brian?
I just the entire climax of the movie with Bishop crawling through that tube, and I just everything is the tension is so palpable in the back third of that movie.
Yeah.
Just it's great. It's
Shout out to
terrific
Bill
movie.
Paxton.
You would have
yeah,
thought
man.
you would have thought like going by the sequel formula, it wouldn't have worked because of course, the sequels are always about more and everything. Like, because the first one was like, okay, there's one alien terrifying everybody, and it's like, what if we just had a bunch of them?
Yeah, right on. And then he had that one Mega Queen with there.
and it worked.
I mean, she nasty.
All right, Brian, what is your first pick off the board?
My first pick is going to be what I thought your first pick was going to be, and that's going to be Raiders of the Lost Ark.
That's why I didn't pick it, because people were expecting me to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't worry, they'll know I'm not you by the time we get maybe three titles deep on this. I just Raiders of the Lost Ark is my favorite movie ever, and Indiana Jones is quintessentially 80s for me. Like, he was the action hero of the 80s for kids.
Yep.
Who couldn't watch things like RoboCop or the Lethal Weapon movies yet. I mean, what can be said that hasn't been said before on this thing? It's just one of the finest, tightest movies ever made, I think. Score, directing, performance-wise, everything just clicks. And I hate all that, like, I can't even say, like, Monday morning quarterbacking of, like, well, if you took Indy out, it would be everything would have happened just as it did. It's like, but it was a fucking entertaining movie, wasn't it?
You could say that for literally for a good amount of protagonists in movies. If you took them out, they wouldn't Like,
I push back against that.
Yeah.
If you took out Indy, Marion ends up dead. The Ark ends up lying in the desert for any fucking body to get their hands on. So he is necessary for that movie.
Yeah.
If nothing else than to save Marion, who's innocent and all that, because those Nazis would have showed up, clapped her, took that the jewel, whatever, and dipped out.
Yeah.
Jamon, what's your first pick, sir?
My first pick, this is going to come as no surprise to anyone. This is a movie that has covered so many genres. We've had it in multiple drafts already. I'm just going to go ahead, no pretense, Ghostbusters.
That was my number 2 pick.
Yes.
Is it really? Look, guys, I was making my list, and then Ghostbusters came up, and I was like, Jamon's tried 3 times and has not won one yet.
I got it.
I'm not putting Ghostbusters
I think it was on my comedy list. It was on his sci-fi list.
Yes.
Yeah.
Somehow it's on a list of best movies starring Fred Astaire. Ghostbusters is on there.
He was in that random scene in the mayor's office. It's just like,
Talk about Ghostbusters again, sir.
Man, that is literally the first thing I even think about when I think of 80s movies.
Yeah.
It was one of the 2 movies that my mom and me always used to go to see every weekend. It was
So it's got the childhood factor. tied
yes,
into it.
nostalgia is a motherfucker in that one.
Nostalgia is in this whole draft. Nostalgia will be a motherfucker.
Absolutely.
Name of the game.
What's your favorite scene or line from that movie?
Probably towards the end with Winston or whatever when they're battling Gozer. And, Gozer asks, "Are you a god?" And he's like,
You say yes.
he's like, "Next time somebody asks you if you're a god, you say yes."
Whenever I think of Winston, and actually, Choose Our Own Adventure, one of the questions is talk about Ernie Hudson films.
Yeah.
Whenever I
Films plural? Oh boy.
Ghostbusters, The Crow, I think that's about it. Is when they're talking to the EPA chief down there in the little basement,
Heck.
whatever, and he's like,
Yes.
he's like, that's one big damn Twinkie. What about you, Brian?
Oh, everything in the movie. I think it's one of the best written screenplays of all time. Like, as far as comedy goes, lightning in a bottle. I don't think anybody who attempts to come along and redo or remake, they even tried again with Ghostbusters 2 and failed. It's just, you can't. You're never going to top that. You're never going to match it. And most of the humor has aged well, which is better than I could say about most comedies.
A lot of 80s comedies don't age well.
Yeah, but it's not. It's
They're all
not
piece
like,
list.
But it's also like it's not a sex-driven humor. It's just
Goofy.
whatever we can throw out here.
There were
we're
some
gonna go
questionable moments in there sex-wise, but
That's true. Yeah,
But,
Ghost fucking them up. Right on. And Pete, what's your favorite part?
yeah.
Sounds good. It sounds good. All right, Jamon, it is on you again.
That's right. I get to
Snake
Snake
draft.
draft.
Baby. Snake draft.
Okay, let's go ahead and snipe another one off of here. This could be considered somewhat pandering or
Ghostbusters really is not on my list.
wow.
What's your pandering?
I'm going to
choice
go
there?
ahead with another well-beloved franchise here. Empire Strikes Back.
There it is.
boy.
There, Jamon's coming to play.
Yes, I came to bring the pain.
Hardcore.
You got to rethink things.
Arguably the best Star Wars movie ever made.
Yes,
It's
it is.
definitely up there. One of the greatest twists in movie history.
Yeah. Yeah, the one thing I love seeing on YouTube is like parents showing their kids for the first time and then filming their kids' reaction. And
Yes, that is just wow. And it's like it was one of the first movies I've seen that ended on a downer. Like like the heroes did not win in this one.
Their version of winning is escaping.
I think I've seen movies that I felt bad afterwards, but the one that actually ends on a down note, Empire Strikes Back. I saw plenty of movies like Howard the Duck in the 1980s. Where I'm done with it, and I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was definitely that middle part of the hero's journey with I think Luke was a better protagonist for it because seeing him go through, his trials and tribulations, becoming a Jedi, and seeing that he wasn't ready for it and he stumbled.
Oh yeah, he didn't listen to. He was a teenage boy. He
Yeah.
didn't listen to Yoda. Yoda's like, wait, you're not ready. If you got to sacrifice your friends for the greater good that's defeating this evil, then they might have to go. And Luke's like, no.
In the sort of the scheme of growing up, and becoming a man. Like the first one is about, there's a whole big world, and Empire is all about, you mean I got to do work?
The third one is just acceptance of, I'm middle management now.
I got to do work.
Right on. That was number 3 on my list. Mr. Martin, it is on you now.
Do I do it or do I not do it?
You do it, so that take it off
Because
my list.
well, my number 2, of course, was Ghostbusters, but third on my list was Empire Strikes Back / Return of the Jedi. So I'm going to go with Return of the Jedi.
Okay.
Which I was going to pick over Empire anyway for one reason alone, and that's the amount of Muppets. I think
the sheer Muppet factor.
There is no question to me that Empire Strikes Back is the superior movie. I don't even think Return of the Jedi is my third favorite Star Wars movie. It's farther down the list than that for me. But Return of the Jedi is quintessentially 80s more than any of the Star Wars movies to me. Like it feels 80s, the aesthetic, the way it looks. Like it doesn't quite look like the other Star Wars movies. And it's just I probably watched it more as a kid because it came out right there in '83 and kind of had the legs, I guess, to carry through for a few years beyond that. So a big chunk of the '80s was Return of the Jedi for me, and I'm gonna pick that one.
No one ever talks about Richard Marquand.
Ever. I don't even know anything he's done other than Return of the Jedi.
My theory is that he was dead and he was just put on there like Tommy Wiseau did with so many producers on the room. Like it's like Richard Marquand. Nobody knows who he is. I couldn't tell you what he sounds like. If I saw him in a lineup, I couldn't identify him.
It's just a pseudonym. It was really Lucas, but
Alan Smithy of the 80s.
If you unscramble the letters of his name, it just says "Got you, fuckers."
And an extra Q at the end.
now
FUCQUERS is fuckers.
Yeah, Return of the Jedi actually was, back in the days, sentimentally, it was one of my favorite of the Star Wars movies.
Yeah,
I mean, as a kid, you love the speeder bikes and all that cool stuff.
The speeder bike, the whole Jabba's palace sequence and the rescue
entire
is
first act.
so good. It's like a Mission Impossible movie.
Yeah, it's like the cold open, basically.
Yeah.
The really like the Star Wars fanfare should have came as Jabba's sail barge just blowing up, and that's the start of it.
I think that's like probably the most fun sustained sequence in the entire Star Wars series is probably that entire Jabba's palace scene.
Yeah.
Because it just gradually, just a steady drip of your main characters come in. Yeah. All of them are introduced or thrown into it in surprising ways. Even the droids who are going right up there, it's like Luke is like, oh, they're yours now. It's like everything is like, what the fuck is going on here?
Yeah.
This is a plan.
You finally get to see Luke fully realize he's like coming into Jabba's palace with all the swagger and everything.
That's a good point.
And the Emperor is just to me like
scene chewingly good.
Just so great as a villain. Like I love how the movies just waited so long to give him to you, and then when it did, it's like this fucker, and then it's like, oh, this fucker.
If Pete were here, he'd talk about the slave Leia outfit. Moving on to my selection. Oh, Pete's 12 minutes out, so we probably get one more randomized draft. Yes. I'm taking Die Hard, you clowns.
Oh, I knew that was going.
Yeah. I didn't. That one was like number 28 on my list specifically because I thought somebody would snipe it before I could get there.
That I don't understand your logic.
That and
you
Raiders
could have sniped it before that. Why
I don't know. Like, see,
Paprikans love Die Hard.
It's great. No, Paprikans love Die Hard. It's a great movie, but I was kind of on the fence with this whole draft in terms of am I picking 80s movies or am I picking good movies that came out in the 80s? And I think there's going to be a mix ultimately, but Die Hard
is a good movie that came out in the 80s.
I mean, I can't deny that. I can't deny that. But my list looks very different than Die Hard.
Okay,
so,
interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. What's your favorite part of Die Hard, there, Mr. Jackson?
Oh man, probably the Yippee-Ki-Yay motherfucker. That was like when him and was it Hans Gruber are going back and forth over the
walkie-talkie.
Yeah.
Who is if there was like a jerk off between Peck and Ellis? Who is more of the jerk between EPA Peck from Ghostbusters?
Well, you can also throw in William Atherton's character in Die Hard because he's in both Ghostbusters. I mean, like you could just make it a three-way. I think Ellis is the bigger prick.
Yeah.
Ellis is such a fucking weasel.
Yeah, in fairness,
Hans Bubby.
Because in fairness, Peck was trying to do his job. He was from the EPA, man.
Well, yeah.
That's a
Ellis,
good point.
Ellis just wanted to bury his face in cocaine.
He also wanted to bury his face in Holly Gennaro. Let's not
Yeah,
forget
right. Right, both.
what's your favorite? What do you fuck with in Die Hard?
My favorite part of Die Hard is when McClane stumbles across Hans Gruber and Hans starts to play like doofy American.
Oh yeah.
That is
Clay.
Oh my god, I love that because it's rare that you get that moment where the audience is aware that, oh my god, the hero and the villain are right here side by side. What the hell is going to happen?
Yeah, and you think Gruber's got the one up on McClane, and then you find out that McClane's had the one up the whole time.
Oh, God, so good.
So good. McTiernan, give us something else.
I just recently watched Die Hard with a Vengeance like last week,
Yeah.
and like granted, I love that movie too because of course the Sam Jackson factor and all that,
Yeah.
and just Simon Gruber just like playing games with him the entire time. But yeah,
Got that
that,
giant sandwich board on
yeah,
him.
oh man,
That's awful.
It is
Oh
awful.
man, so
oh
good.
my goodness.
I'm waiting for December to hit on the very last episode of anything Poprika related, and German is finally going to admit to us that Sam Jackson is his uncle at some point. Like, I'm waiting for it. As much as you stand
I need to do one of those genealogy things. I might
just
find
to
out.
make sure. You're wearing a Nick Fury shirt for crying out loud. All right, and so it's time to randomize. Pete said he'll be here in a couple of minutes. Let's see what Mr. Lentz ends up with here.
Bong.
Big money, no whammies.
Big money, no whammies, repeat list. And it is Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade.
Oh, that's
actually
good.
a good pick.
Pete's doing great so far, I think.
I think he'll be happy with that.
I mean, that Friday the 13th is a real dark horse first round pick. But like,
People are gonna what?
Last Crusade was way down on my. Actually, no, it's like number 11 on my list.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, that's the one that I was like, all right, if I choose Raiders, people are gonna know this list is mine. My draft theory now is just not even to win, just the people just figure out
stuff
which
so it
one's
ain't
mine.
you.
Yeah, so it's that's my only way I can win these. People hate me in these drafts. I don't know why. So yeah, I was like,
you've won so many of them.
by obfuscating who I am. I'm just gonna find a way to like pick movies that spells out my name. 1D Die Hard. 2A Airplane. Yeah, so I had to have some kind of Indiana Jones on my list, which Pete sniped that off. So yeah, Last Crusade I think is an amazing film. I used to like it more than Raiders, and then as time has gone on, I'm like, Raiders are just so fucking airtight. There's just no way. I think Sean Connery in that role reversal of being suave James Bond to basically bumbling idiot is a genius-inspired casting.
And they have such great chemistry together.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they do. They really do.
Ford and Connery. Wow.
The fact that
think
there's like
they-
maybe 10 years apart.
Would we say they kind of created that trope of the father-son dynamic in sequels, or?
Well, we had Return of Jedi.
They kind of try to copy that with Austin Powers or whatever.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
Like it's a weird buddy comedy, which buddy comedies have been out for a little bit at this point, I think. But yeah, it's good as far as like villains are concerned. What was it? Donovan is the villain, right?
Donovan,
Yeah.
Walter Donovan,
Walter
who played General Veers in The Empire Strikes Back.
And is Pycelle in Game of Thrones as well. Yeah, good villain. Allison Duty. Shout out to Allison Duty. A test your mic question for you, Brian.
Yeah. Oh,
If
yeah.
I remember correctly. Yeah, it's all around good shit. All right, it's time for Pete again.
Oh boy.
Oh boy, what's he coming up with this time around? It is The Last Crusade again. Let's try that again.
It's fine. Well, I'll allow it.
Oh, Batman '89.
Ooh! I don't think that's something he would have picked. I
That
don't
was
think he
next
would've
on
picked
my
it.
list. To
That
pick.
was last on my list.
Well, you wouldn't have got it.
That's an upset.
Wow.
This might be the only way Pete will ever win one of these. Let's just be honest.
Oh
here.
man, Pete is rocking it out.
That is like,
Hey, can we just tell him RoboCop's unavailable when he gets in?
you will lose his shit.
Because it's definitely on my list, and I would just like one shot.
I would not tell him that. He's had a rock and roll night last night. He might lose it.
Oh man, yeah.
Pete's still hopped up on the rock and roll. Batman '89. I think the two things that brought Batman back to prominence was The Dark Knight Returns, Frank Miller comic, and Batman '89. I think the combination of those two things, about 4 years apart, that's what brought Batman back to what he's supposed to be, not that goofy Adam West shit that I hate.
That was an absolute phenomenon, man. I remember back in the days, everybody had, had some Batman merch when that movie dropped.
Those fucking high tops. You remember
Yes.
Converse did those? They had
Yes.
Batman and Joker high tops.
Yes.
Oh man,
That's right. I forgot about that.
love those. God, what a weird soundtrack that movie had. I was talking with somebody about that Prince soundtrack.
Prince joint,
Like we were talking about how big Prince was in the 80s and like how there was a section of the population that knew him as like, oh yeah, he had a couple really big songs. And then there was a section of the population that knows like Prince is fucking Prince, you know?
Prince is God.
And then like and I think the point at which most of us realized Prince was like, the fuck is this guy? Was the Batman soundtrack, because like you got Bat Dance and it's like, okay, this kind of makes sense, and then you listen to the rest of the soundtrack, it's like, the fuck does this have to do with Batman? Like it's like Prince was like, I will do your soundtrack, and then it's like he just gives them something, they're like, it's Prince, we gotta go with it.
You don't say no.
I feel like Tim Burton was probably just like, get me Prince. He'll just look at it like, what?
Or Prince was just like, someone get me Tim Burton. Because Prince,
Pee Wee Herman guy? Like that.
because Prince was a huge Batman fan.
Yeah.
Which I always thought was weird. But I guess he probably heard that they were making a movie and he was like, I need to be on this shit some kind of way.
I think I remember hearing rumors back then, when the movie was dropping, that Prince was lobbying to play Batman himself. I was just like, come on, man.
Batman ain't 5'6".
Yeah.
I mean, granted, they got Michael Keaton, but like,
Yeah. Like unorthodox casting, but it worked.
But it worked. It worked.
Man, what a Jack Nicholson. You got Jack Nicholson to play the fucking Joker.
yes.
Yeah.
Like
that's
still
where
doesn't.
it's
You
at.
still hear that, and it's like, holy! I cannot believe they did that. It's like as big a coup as getting like Brando to play Jor-El in a Superman movie. It's like this is not what this guy does, right?
But somehow he pulled it out, man. He
Oh,
put
man,
he's a
God,
great
no,
Joker.
it's
He
so
was
good.
his portrayal of the Joker was the standard for a long time.
Yeah, it was. It was. I think every live action Joker, is now compared to Heath Ledger.
Yeah.
But for the longest, it was just like the conversation. Was it Ledger or was it Jack?
I
Was it
would
Ledger or
argue
was it Jack?
every Batman villain after him was like basically doing a Jack Nicholson.
Yeah.
Yeah,
the Joker
in their-
performance.
in their way. Yeah, that's a good point. All right, well done, Pete.
Jeez,
That's fucking dick.
damn it!
All right, then I'm gonna go ahead and switch genres here and get a little scary. I'm gonna take The Thing.
Number 10 on my list.
Yeah, let me go ahead and grab some Carpenter,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
just in case another movie is unavailable later. Yeah, man. Directed by John Carpenter. You got your boy McGreedy, Kurt Russell in there, and Keith David also in there as well, and
Wilford Brimley.
Brimley.
Wilford Brimley. That's how he got diabetes. I contracted diabetes from an alien life form under the ice.
Yeah, man. I watched The Thing for the first time like maybe 4 years ago. I was like, I've never seen this movie. It was Halloween. I had nothing going on because fuck kids coming to trick or treat in my neighborhood. Turn my lights off quick. And I was like, I'm gonna watch something scary. I'm gonna watch The Thing. And I was like, Jesus Christ, this movie is amazing.
Yeah, one of the when I lived in Vienna on Halloween, one of the old theaters, because most of the movie theaters in Vienna are like 80 to 100 years old, and one of them did a double feature of The Thing from the 50s and The Thing from the 80s. And
The Thing from Outer Space.
yeah, it was like The Thing from Another World or whatever.
Yeah.
But so we watched both of them back to back, and it was like just goddamn amazing. So great.
Every episode of Poprika or Draft or whatever, like some of my blind spots get exposed.
Oh no.
Yes, I've not seen The Thing.
So here's the thing. C just left to go let Pete in the building, and he left me and German here to talk about The
vamp
Thing.
a little bit.
And only now do we discover
One
that
of us-
German has not seen The Thing.
That's on my list. It's going to be on my list.
It needs to be on your list, man.
Yes.
It's just so goddamn great. And and just watch the movie and then immediately watch the Carpenter Russell commentary track on it. Kurt Russell's just absolutely hilarious on that track. But I actually convinced my dad to watch this movie not too long ago, probably about the time Seed watched it. And his review was thumbs down. And I'm like, oh my God, Dad, did you even watch the right fucking movie? Like, what are you talking about? I question anybody who comes out of this movie and does not think it's one of the best horror movies ever made.
And that's probably part of the reason why I didn't see it back then. When that came out in 82?
82.
Yeah,
I think
I'd have
81
been,
or 82.
Yeah, I'd have been 4 back then.
Maybe it's not the right time.
Yeah. That probably would have been one of them things I probably would have had to have seen like years later.
Yeah, granted, I mean, it took me probably 15 years to see it. And I'm surprised that my cousin didn't introduce it to me at some point because she was heavily into horror movies. And that's how I saw Creepshow for the first time. But for some reason, that one just went under the radar until I was of an age that I could watch it at an appropriate time in my life.
All right.
So, good stuff.
Ladies and gentlemen, Pete Lentz is
in the building.
finally in the building. How are you doing today, sir?
Oh, God, you guys, I'm so sorry.
Pete's got a shirt on that has 1 through 9, his plan for the day, and I think he skipped straight to 9 today, which was go to sleep.
Oh, my God. No, man, I completely forgot about the time change of the thing, and I wrote it down on the calendar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not like the EST to EDT time change from like a month and a half ago.
I wonder why he's been an hour late to everything.
This is what quarantine does to somebody. It's like
There's no concept of time anymore. In
None
2020.
whatsoever.
I'm like Stephen Wright over here. I have no concept.
Yeah, my calendar has no 7s. All
I guess
right.
you need to see what we've got picked so far.
So far, Pete, let's get you called up.
Yeah.
Your first pick was Friday the 13th. Your second
Yeah. I saw that.
your second pick was Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade.
No kidding.
Yeah. And your third pick, you bastard, was Batman 89.
Wow.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm doing well.
not bad.
Probably need to see everybody else's stuff to see what not to pick.
Oh, yeah, that's a good point. Wow.
What,
Or you want to slide them to? You can just slide them to. The list
Right.
that-
That's the easiest way to do it. Brian, it's on you. Actually, yeah, Brian, it's on you.
This is my pick, yeah. Okay, well, this is going to be
Damn,
my...
Seed. What?
Sir, we came to play, man. We came to play.
What? Okay. All right. So somebody pick and let me. I will catch this up and then I'll. Yeah.
He's got to phase in.
Holy cow. Holy cow.
All right, so, man, I kind of went back and forth on the order of a few movies on my list, and this is not my favorite movie of the 80s. It was maybe my favorite movie in the 80s, short of Ghostbusters, and I've talked about it a few times on various podcasts on Poprika as a movie. I'm not sure if you watch it as an adult, it resonates at all. But if you watched it as a kid, it was the fucking shit. And that is The Goonies.
Oh, damn it.
Yes.
Goonies is 28 on my list.
This is what. See, I said a few minutes ago, like my list is kind of hovering between good movies and distinctly 80s movies, and there's some bleed over there. I'm not sure Goonies is a great movie, but it's a absolutely fun adventure movie with a terrific cast of children in it. Goofy ass villains. It's basically like Ma Beagle and the Beagle Boys from DuckTales.
Oh, that's a deep pull.
Pretty much.
Pirate's Treasure. It's got so much going for it, and there's so much heart and so much energy in it, and that Dave Grusin score is so goddamn on point. I love the Goonies.
The only reason
As
it's not
nostalgia
higher on
pick.
my list is because you've been shitting on the Goonies and Poprika for the last couple of
Really?
years, and I don't know why. The Goonies is amazing.
Like, let's be honest with ourselves and just realize that for a kid, the audience for which this movie is made, and I mean, most of us probably saw it as kids for the first time. There's not really a whole lot better than that to just tap every single nerve that you want as a kid. Like, I want adventure, I want excitement, I want to kiss the girl, I want to overpower these big doofy criminals.
It was kind of Stranger Things before Stranger Things.
Oh yeah.
for sure.
Stranger Things is absolutely a successor to this.
Yeah.
My son has been into Goonies hard. And
Yeah.
I could
Yeah,
not
I remember
be
you saying
happier,
that, so.
man. Yeah. Pete, what you got on Goonies?
Oh, Goonies is a fantastic film. Like that, the cast alone. I mean, I watched the Reunited Apart, the Josh Gad series. It's on
fucking Gad.
That guy. I don't know. He's so connected and has so many friends. But I watched that Goonies one too, and it's funny to see them all now and hear them talking about the movie, and it's like, oh look, there's Thanos.
And if you're into that, like that's another one. We were talking about the commentary track for the thing a couple minutes ago, but the commentary track on the Goonies DVD, where they're all there and it's a video, like that you can see them in a box,
Like a picture in picture?
Yeah. It's and the cast is just assembled there. It's great. It's so great.
Wow.
I need to find
And,
this.
I've
got to see that too.
Oh
for
yeah,
sure.
and probably one of the greatest Cyndi Lauper songs ever.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Good enough.
Yes.
It was a song. I'm not gonna lie. That song was on my wedding reception mix. Of course, when I got married, Goonies Are Good Enough was on there.
Of course it was. All right, Mr. Jackson, what is your third pick?
Oh, my third pick. Yeah, I gotta pull this one off. I'm surprised no one's sniped this one yet, but let's go ahead and go take Back to the Future
That
off.
was next on my list. God damn it, we have the same damn list.
Yeah, pretty much. I told you this was gonna be cutthroat, man.
That was on. Yeah.
I'm thinking back to an episode of Choose Our Own Adventure where someone asked us if you could have any fictional vehicle, what would have, and every time DeLorean.
No question.
Every
No
single time.
question.
As far as car with wheels, yeah, the DeLorean
Yes,
is, it's high on that
absolutely.
list. It's high on that list.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, man, that movie is, as far as time travel movie goes, are there any loopholes in that movie? It's
mean,
a fairly tight film, isn't it?
I mean, when you're dealing with time travel, you're going to have them regardless. But
Not Primer, damn it.
yeah,
But I believe Back to the Future doesn't really introduce anything that it doesn't resolve. Like even the smallest little details are something they come back to later on.
and when you're finding some of these time travel Easter eggs in there, like the whole Twin Pines Mall thing was like, wow,
Lone Pines Mall,
that's some attention to detail there.
Like that was something they sat down and said, okay, we need to just have a bunch of
It's
ideas and we
plants
need
and
to
payoffs.
figure out
Yeah,
where to
plants
put them in
and
the
payoffs.
movie.
Yeah.
And they do it like the Goldie Wilson stuff and
That's right. He's going to be mayor.
yeah. So great.
Yeah. What you got on Back to the Future, Pete?
Oh man, I love Back to the Future. In fact, I just recently watched it with my kids again, and my kids just think it's delightful, man. And Huey Lewis's cool cameo, and the fact that Huey Lewis put two songs towards that movie. I mean, he's got Power of Love and Back in Time. And I actually thought Back in Time was a better song, to be honest with you. Like the Power of Love is a fantastic song. Everybody remembers it, but Back in Time is that jam.
Yeah.
And,
Tell me, doctor, where are we going this time?
and then that ding, 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 it's kind of
Yes,
like
I
the
love
time
that
travel
song.
moves.
Is it the 50s?
On 1999. Yeah.
Well, Mr. Jackson, it's on you again.
Oh man, I get another one. Cool.
He's always surprised.
before-
Every
Yeah,
time
it's only the second time it's ever happened
I mean,
for me in a draft.
I joke a lot,
You're
but being
one
number
peak, by the
four, is kind of fun because it's just you get two picks back to back, and it really does alleviate some of the pressure.
yeah.
Like I don't know where the fuck I am on my list right now. Like I'm really thrown off being number 3.
Yeah.
Okay.
I love being right in the middle, man. You feel like you're not missing out on too much.
Yeah.
See, my strategy here is I've been trying to pull from a few franchises to kind of cater to the Poprikans a little bit.
I see that.
So I'm going to go ahead and pull another one off here. Let's go with Star Trek II: The Wrath of Khan.
You raggedy bitch.
Yes, sir. I knew
Now,
somebody
see-
was going to say that before this draft was over.
when I was making this list, okay, when I was making my 80s list, I specifically stayed away from movies like Empire Strikes Back, Star Trek 2, because I was like, No, I had those on a list before.
It's played.
Aliens,
You played it, yeah.
You know, it's like I didn't want to play that. And then here you guys are. Like I look at this list, it's like motherfuckers got Empire Strikes
I
Back
feel
and
like-
Raiders and goddamn Aliens and Star Trek 2. It's like
See, I figured, yeah.
It's like being at a Golden Corral and finding like a filet mignon and like, no, I don't think so. It's like the only fucking good thing there.
Well, see, yeah, because my mindset was that like I'm pretty sure the majority of the Poprikans probably weren't even born during this era, or aren't
Yeah.
familiar with too much. So
I feel like the median age is like somewhere in the 30s, man.
is it really?
Probably,
You think? So yeah, I can't. Like I had to go with certain franchises that people are going to recognize at least.
Okay,
Yeah.
I see your strategy here.
Yeah,
you
but-
know me and my not being able to pander to Paprika. and
I'm
stuff.
like you were
I
going to
just-
say,
I'm
you
like
know
if-
me and mine are not being able to win a draft.
Okay, all right.
I'm basically because I'm basically like if there's a Funko Pop for it, maybe I can pull something from it.
Hey, don't joke though. Pete hasn't actually selected anything yet. So
That's true.
Somehow is doing great.
Yeah, but yeah,
If he wins as an asterisk by this W.
Hey. But like, am I assisted by the podcast?
You get 3 of the fingers off this gauntlet.
I know one you're going to get. But yes, yeah,
gonna get this
Wrath of Khan, arguably the best Star Trek movie.
arguably nothing. I don't think it'll
Yeah.
cause an argument anyway.
Yeah, it's
Except for
I
those
think
Galaxy Quest motherfuckers.
God, it was the best Star Trek movie. God, I hate those guys. Yeah, talk about it. Real
Yeah, Ricardo Montalban just chewing up the scenery as Khan.
quick. Just Wrigley's gum all over.
Oh
the
my
scene.
god, chest all out and everything. Just it's amazing how much tension and stuff they built in that movie without like literally Kirk and Khan never interact in the same room.
Yep.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
and the music helps with that tension
Yeah.
too. There's that boom, 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 boom.
Yeah.
Horner's score came absolutely strong on that film.
Real
Like that's
strong.
one of his best. That's I think one of his best scores is that film.
And I think it struck the right balance that Star Trek needed as a franchise because, the motion picture came out and it is as antithetical to Star Wars as possible, right? It's like this just really thoughtful, slow burn sci-fi movie.
It's a 2001 ripoff.
Like we need to get something that's a happy medium, right? And Star Trek 2 managed to do that. It doesn't feel too actiony. It feels still a little slow and introspective. It marries them both very, very well.
Yeah, there's that
It's like
scene
the
where,
ultimate Star Trek is Star Trek 2.
Yeah. I think there's a scene where you get the Kirk's age, starting to bother him. And then when they first get Carol and Dave into the scene, and she's like, "Hey, tell me what you're thinking." It's like, "I got a guy out there I haven't seen in years, though. He wants to kill me. I got a son right here that I haven't met." And he asked me how I feel. I feel old. He's had a long day.
So good.
Yeah, it's so good.
And and then the whole Spock scene just tugs at the heartstrings.
Man, holy crap. Yeah,
Man,
wow.
that hurts, man.
Yeah.
To this day, that hurts. Oh, well done, sir.
Good pick.
Mr. Martino is on you.
All right, well, Back to the Future was going to be my next pick. So thank you for that. So I'm going with an alternate there. I wanted to go something that was sort of sci-fi freaky comedy kind of route. And
Ghostbusters already taken, sir.
Yeah, well, I know that was a problem too for me. But Gremlins is going to be my next one.
There you go.
That
Second favorite Christmas movie.
Yes, that was the other movie my mom and me always went to go see at the theaters every weekend.
I saw
And
this
that
thing
was how I
so
found
many
out there was no Santa Claus.
Oh, God. In the worst possible way, like living vicariously through Phoebe Cates.
Which I still do.
Like,
I've done a couple times with different movies.
like wasn't her dad up in that chimney for like 3 days or something?
Yeah, before they discovered him.
And that's when we noticed the smell.
That is ripe.
That's number 43 is way down.
Yeah,
on the list.
I'm taking some risks here. I think like it's such a wild movie. Like the concept behind the Gremlins, the rules behind the Gremlins, the idyllic small town at Christmas time. It's like it's a wonderful life. But we're throwing monsters at them. Like, what a great concept! Like that's it. That's like the pitch line for the movie. And wow, is it great?
It was. I think it was one of the movies that pushed the Motion Picture Association to institute the PG-13
It was
rating.
that and Temple of Doom. I
Yes.
think
Yes,
that
it
did the trick. The 1-2
It
punch.
was, yeah. Good Lord, it was.
It's freaky as hell. I mean, like,
Yes.
it's
Wild business.
really, really terrifying. Like, as a kid, you don't realize that it's funny. It's just kind of mortifying.
I was all about some Gremlins back in the day. I
Oh,
remember.
yeah.
I remember Hardee's used to have the like. When
I
you got
had
the,
all of them.
When you got the,
I had
the
all
book
the
and
records.
records.
I had every single one, dude.
The book and records, I had those.
The book and records were great.
Yes.
Well, no, it's time to turn the page when you
Yes.
hear the chimes ring
Yes.
like this.
Yeah.
Bling.
Yeah. Oh my God.
I had all the merch. Right?
All 5 of them. Dude.
You
All
know,
5
you
of
remember
them.
those things you used to get, those little tiny things you put in like water and they'd expand?
Oh, yeah.
I had like a gizmo and a stripe in a jar, like a mason jar, and they just swelled up inside of it. They were like specimens sitting on my on my shelf in my bedroom. And my uncle came one time and was like, "Can I have this?" To like a 5-year-old kid, but it was like my stripe in the liquid, and I was like, as a kid, I'm like, I guess so. And then as an adult, I'm like, I fucking know why you wanted that. That'd be sweet as hell to have just on your shelf at home. Like, hey, you see my specimen? As an adult, that's exactly the sort of thing I would do. So, anyway, love the movie.
Lovely. Well done. Well done. All right, I'm going to switch gears for mine since you guys want to take all the macho shit.
Wait, what number am I?
You're one.
I'm 1. Okay. Okay, good.
We're basically the ends here.
All right. Okay, good.
Oh, yeah. I guess we didn't really switch up our scenery.
Yeah.
Our seats, did we? Don't worry, I'll keep
We'll
us on
figure it
track.
out.
We'll figure it out. I'm going to switch things up. I'm going to go a little bit tender-hearted on this one.
Tootsie?
This is for the ladies.
Officer and a gentleman.
Don't you dare disrespect Lou Gossett Jr.
Oh no disrespect to Lou Gossett Jr., sir.
That's an Iron Eagle, damn it. I'm going to take quite possibly the cookie cutter, the what every other rom-com has ever been based off of. I'm taking When Harry Met Sally.
Oh, nice.
Right on.
Good pick.
Nice pull.
A vote for the ladies.
I'll have what she's having.
35 on my list.
Yeah, 35.
Yeah. Just because I didn't actually organize it once I got
Right.
there. It was the 35th movie I thought of to put on my list.
I had a slow last Saturday, so I got to sit down and come up with and organize my list.
a good
pretty-
pick. Good
pretty well.
pick.
Yeah, when Harry Met Sally, it's number 6 on my list. I want to get that off the board as quickly as possible before one of you guys did.
It's not even on my list.
I was not
on your
gonna.
list
Didn't
at
make
all?
it. Didn't make it. Yeah.
I was not going to pull that one.
No,
I guarantee you.
It's a good pick. I mean, it's undeniably like
It is
Hell
solid.
yeah, it's a solid. It's
It
definitely
is the
solid.
best rom-com to ever exist. I mean, Hanks and Ryan,
Yeah.
y'all tried, but no,
tried
no.
several times.
several times. You got nailed as good, but it ain't that. When Harry Met Sally is
You got nailed?
That was the next one.
That would have been better than what
That
we
would
got.
have been the tender rom com.
something getting tender.
I can't remember who was bigger. That's a Jenna Jameson in that one.
Yeah, Billy Crystal doing the best work Billy Crystal ever did on film. In the leading man role there. It's everything is perfect about that movie. There's nothing you can say wrong about When Harry Met Sally. Pete, you said it's not on your list at all?
It is not on my list at
Why
all.
not? Did you purposely not put it on or just didn't come to you?
Oh no. It's not like I have an agenda against When Harry Met Sally. It's not like that.
Reiner!
What did he ever do to you? What did he ever do to you?
Reiner.
Show us on your heart where Reiner touched you.
Everywhere.
Oh God. No, it was I never really gravitated towards that movie, to be honest with you. Like I think I've seen it once just to say
to
I saw
knock it off the list.
to be able to make conversation with someone who wanted to talk about the movie, but it's not. Yeah, I don't know. It's not going to earn me any points in Poprika, I know, but it's not.
It's fairly high up on the 100 for 100. I want
Yeah.
to say it's somewhere in the 20s, maybe. Yeah, somewhere up in there. All right, then. Pete, it is on you.
Finally,
you get
yes.
the 1-2
Oh,
back to
here
back.
we go.
I get to pick.
Here
His
we
first pick.
go.
For a moment.
Okay, so obviously a lot of my top picks have got axed before I was able to get to them, but I'm surprised that this has not been pulled yet. This is 100% at the top of my list because the other two that were at the top of my list are already gone, but it's now the top of my list. This movie is everything to everyone. I'm talking about The Princess Bride.
Oh, man.
Number 8 on my list.
100%, dude. That movie's got it all. It's got it all. You know, and Peter Falk says it in the beginning. It's got adventure and romance.
Number 12.
There's some
on my
kissing.
list.
You know.
I definitely did expect that to go sooner, to be honest.
There was you remember like a couple months ago there was that story. It was like the headline on social media, and I know people on Poprika posted about it. Was like two like I don't know, rope-a-dope celebrities were like going to remake The Princess Bride, and they didn't read the actual text that like it was a quarantine edition of Princess Bride that a bunch of celebrities were working on. They just saw that it was like I can't remember.
It was Joe Jonas and Sophie Turner.
That was who it was.
That's what it was.
And everybody's like, bro, yeah, get them pitchforks, torches, and it's like slow your roll, guys.
Fucking article, people.
Calm
Read
down.
the article,
Yeah.
exactly.
But that fervor, just at the very idea, is a good indicator of what The Princess Bride means to so many people.
Exactly. That's
Did you see the someone did a Princess Bride supercut? They posted it on Poprika of tons of different actors. Reiner's there for a hot second.
Yeah, that was the one they did on whatever Quibi or
Quibi. Yeah, that was great. It was Reiner, Giancarlo Esposito.
Yeah.
I think Jonas and Turner
like
were
there
on
were.
that one too.
That's the thing. That's the one they were talking about. And it's like that was. There were so
Everyone.
many other
Orlando
people
Jones
involved in it.
and, yeah.
It's like whoever wrote that headline just picked the two people that would piss fanboys off the most.
for traffic.
Because if they said, "Oh, Giancarlo Esposito is going to be in a new Princess Bride remake," people would have been like, "Shit, yeah!" But because you lead with Joe Jonas, everybody's like, "Oh, get him!"
Okay. Oh, what's your favorite part about this movie?
Oh man, to be honest with you, the first sword fight between Inigo and
Wesley?
and Wesley. Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm brain farting, but yeah, that first sword fight is just wonderful, and they're quipping during it, and it lasts a long time. They really use the scenery. They use the environment
They're
a
all over
lot.
the place.
I love. I think it's some of the finest work I've ever seen Cary Ells do in terms of both. You know, I've never seen him sword fight in any other movie, obviously, but
I think he fights.
Does he
with,
fight in Robin
the
Hood Men in Tights?
Cyclone and Twister with a sword at one point.
Oh.
Parrying and thrusting.
He definitely tries to fight it with his Suburban, and he loses.
I think he sword fighted with his foot and saw. That's about it.
No, that was diabetes.
There's a lot of diabetic humor on this episode.
You're going to hell for that one. That's
You're all terrible people.
Brimley comes in. Let me get it for you.
diabetes.
It even tastes like sugar.
But yeah, that would be my favorite part is that first sword fight, and just the way it ends, and you get the sense, even if you've never seen the movie before and it's the very first time you've seen it, you get the sense at the end that even though Wesley wins and knocks Inigo out, like you get the sense that is going to be a friendship that's going to last for a very long time because of a mutual respect and admiration for each other during a very, very intense duel where either one of them could die. Like it's just a great scene, and I'm really shocked that movie manages to eke out so many awesome moments. Just so many awesome moments and quotables and just that movie really is like everything to everyone. It's an adventure movie. It's a love story. It's a comedy. It's a drama. It's everything all at once. It's crazy.
I think there may be more heart in that movie than just about anything I've ever seen in my life.
For sure.
I get down with that. All right, Pete, you're number 5 to round out the first half of this list.
Oh, yeah. I get to pick again. All right. Man. Okay. Well, I'm. So much good stuff is still left, actually. But I'm gonna go with.
We're on the clock here, Pete.
I know. I'm sorry. I'm gonna go with Top Gun.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Top Gun.
Number
jets.
59 on my list because Puerto aren't a fan of Tom Cruise.
Well,
That's their
The
fault.
women don't like Tom Cruise.
That's
I
wild.
need that lady vote. Which is why I put it so low on my list.
Do you like jets? If you like jets, you must like Top Gun.
That's flawless logic, Brian.
But jets are better than Tom Cruise. Jets greater than Tom Cruise. So it doesn't matter what he's in as long as there are jets in them.
All right, that's a good point.
and don't forget volleyball.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Oh, yeah. And Anthony Anderson getting to shine there.
Slim Val Kilmer. You get
Yeah,
good old Val Kilmer.
Iceman.
You get not one but two Kenny Loggins songs.
Yes, I feel like the songs have outlasted the movie.
Right.
Yeah.
But see, and then you're getting, they're making Top Gun Maverick,
That trailer looked really good.
They're bringing right, like
Yep.
they're bringing Top Gun back, and just the way. One of the reasons that I love that movie versus movies like Iron Eagle or Firefox
Don't
or
you disrespect Lou Gossett Jr.
I'm not. I put respect on his name, but
Good man.
But no, the way Top Gun was shot, I think is much more effective in its jet play. There's a lot of the whole thing, the Navy thing, and flying off the deck of the carrier, and just everything about them. It's like Michael Bay before Bay had his.
Before he had a budget.
Before he had a budget, yeah, you know what I mean. It's like, because Michael Bay's got his military fetish, right? He's, his military buddies are in like every movie. He goes, hey, I need some jets and helicopters. Can you do something? But Top Gun was like, that was way before all of that, and they still managed to like shoot on aircraft carriers, fly real F-14 Tomcats. Like it's just really good. It is sad that. Tom Cruise has the, I guess, legacy that he does, crazy Scientologist, all that kind of stuff. But yeah, beyond that, like Top Gun's one of those movies that's like Die Hard when you're talking about other movies. When you say it's Die Hard on a plane or it's Die Hard on a bus, well, like Days of Thunder was Top Gun with race cars, or like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
Like, Top Gun is it's the Die Hard of that genre, where it's the movie that you use to quantify other films.
Okay, all right.
So yeah, Top Gun.
If you slow down the DVD and you freeze frame by frame, you can see Tom Clancy rubbing one out in the background, all throughout. All right then, it is on me now. And I'm going to take this movie because I know Germain's probably eyeballing it, and he's coming close to it. And there's nothing that makes me happier than cutting Germain off at the knees when possible. I'm going to take Coming to America.
I knew it. I knew it. You know what? I have that on my list.
That's on my list too.
I was thinking about it, but I was like, it's definitely, it was in the 80s. I wouldn't necessarily say I would consider it an 80s movie, or you know what I'm saying? Like
the definition is a movie that came out
well,
in
yes,
the 80s.
I know it came out in the 80s. But it's not, I love it. It's one of my favorite movies ever, but it's not something I would consider, when people are putting a list together of 80s movies or whatever. That's never comes into the conversation really, but
Really?
I don't think it does.
Like,
if you were talking best comedy movies, yeah, hell yeah, all day.
But as far as 80 movies, it doesn't kind of. If we're talking about 80s movies and I break it down by genre and talking about 80s comedies, it's going to be a shit ton of SNL movies.
Yes.
And then right after that, the first thing I'm going to think of is Coming to America.
Yeah,
I think.
definitely.
All right, right on.
Yes, fuck you too.
What's your favorite bit of this, Javon? What's your
Oh
favorite scene?
God, probably Randy Watson, man.
It's got to be right. It's
Is
gotta
there?
be
Yes.
Randy Watson.
Between that and the Soul Glow, man, it was like
Possibly the best song ever created
Yes.
for a film.
I want those T-shirts, man. I've seen those like everywhere.
Yeah, feeling low so silky smooth. What about you, Brian? Do you get down on some Coming to America?
Absolutely. I don't know what else to say about it though. It's hilarious.
Done and done. Let's keep it moving. Brian,
Yes,
it
yes.
is on you.
Okay. This is number 5, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Yes, I think I will. Okay. So, yes, comedies kind of fall into like, there's comedies that are kind of timeless. There are comedies that are distinctly 80s. As you said, a lot of like SNL alum stuff. But for me, there's this whole subgenre, the teen comedy of the 80s. And there's no more exemplary film in that genre than The Breakfast Club.
Oh, I knew that was going.
I
Yes,
thought
yeah.
when Pete started talking about a movie that meant so much to so many people, I thought he might pick The Breakfast Club. But
36 on my list.
that movie still, I think, even though times have changed, teenagers have changed, that movie embodies in its archetypal characters so many sort of inescapable tropes of growing up that it's managed to lock down this sort of timelessness that a lot of other John Hughes movies maybe haven't been able to pull off, and even I think even younger people in their like 20s today, if they hear that Simple Minds song, they know to put their hand up in the air.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
Judd Nelson forever.
But I think no matter who you are, whatever you bring into that movie, you're going to relate to one of those characters.
Yeah, it's the perfect breakdown of what all the high school cliques are.
And maybe some of you are relating to Principal Vernon. You know, it's like just the asshole.
You want another?
Yeah.
I can go all day.
And he's a great villain in the movie. Like it's just a wonderful little bottle movie.
Yeah.
It's great.
What's your on that, Jamal?
Could we argue that's like basically almost like the 80s version of 12 Angry Men?
No, we will never argue that, sir, because that is not something to argue. 12 Angry Men is a goddamn classic. Breakfast Club is just really good.
Yes, it's a solid ass movie, man.
They're trying to discover the guilt or innocence of Principal Werner. I don't think he did it. I don't think he.
He didn't give him the horns.
Anthony Michael Hall's the only one that thinks he didn't do it.
Yeah. He's got to convince all the other ones, man. He's got to convince Judd Nelson some kind of way.
Oh,
Turn your back on him, though. Turn your back on him.
I just got to convince Judd Nelson.
Yeah, the reason the huge movies are so low on my list is when I announced earlier today that it was going to be 80s movies, someone was like, someone made fun of people who were going to be talking about, how to phrase it, like it's a movie of the times. It hasn't aged well.
Right.
And I think a lot of people think Hughes movies haven't quite aged.
I wouldn't disagree with that. I just think The Breakfast Club has.
Yeah.
So
I think,
if
matter of fact, I think Breakfast Club is the only Hughes movie. Like 16 Candles isn't on my list. Weird Science is definitely not on my list.
No,
That's
Weird
not
Science
getting
is
you.
not.
that's
that's
problematic as hell.
Yeah, it is.
As in 16 Candles at some points. All right, then. Keeping this moving, man. Jamon, you will have our fifth and final pick for part one.
All
of this
right,
business.
all right. Let's go ahead and just get this business off of here right now. Go ahead and pull the Karate Kid off of there.
There it is. There it is.
Yes.
Peter Cetera.
Oh, that's the second one.
That was the second one. Yeah, you're right. Was there a song in the first one?
It was what's that?
Anyways,
You're the best around. Best around.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yes.
That's right.
Jamon, talk about it.
Oh man.
We got to keep this moving.
Yeah, probably the best thing Ralph Macchio has ever done in his life, or will ever do in his life. Easily.
Don't you disrespect Crossroads.
I have a family. I have kids. That's not the best thing you've done, Ralph Macchio.
Granted, I liked Outsiders, but it wasn't because of him.
Yeah. That's true. That's
That's the 12 Angry Men of the
Yes.
80s.
Great. Actually, like I know it's been really parodied a lot, but it's probably one of the most nuanced performances from Pat Morita.
Yes.
Oh, for
Yeah.
sure.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
He got an Oscar nod for that.
He did. And well-deserved nod
Well
there.
deserved, yeah. Best supporting?
I think it
yes.
was yes.
Yeah, best supporting.
Yeah. I mean, there's a reason that that YouTube had the Cobra Kai show because it's had such a lasting
Oh,
impact.
and what a
yeah.
great show that is! Like that show, I think absolutely lives up to the legacy of the film.
Yeah, right
you know,
on.
I feel like it kind of ignores the show. Kind of ignores 2 and 3.
As well as
like,
should.
It really, but it really leans into the first movie's conflict. The show does, but I mean, you wouldn't have that show if the movie Karate Kid wasn't so damn good. Excellent pick, bro.
Yes.
Damn good pick.
Excellent pick.
Brian, anything to say on this real quick before we wrap this up, part one?
I watched it quite a bit, and I took karate class as a result of it. So I think that's
Another lasting impact.
right.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, the lasting impact of my experience taking karate.
All right. Well,
Miyagi
that's
karate?
it.
The only lasting impact was my ass on the floor. That was it.
Over and over again.
Let's call your mom.
Don't bring him back.
That's going to go ahead and wrap up the first part of the 1980s draft. We'll be back sometime soon with part 2. So stay tuned. And we're back man. We are back for the second part of the 1980s draft. A quick rundown of where we are so far. Pete Lentz is our number one choice. He's got Friday the 13th, Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, Batman 1989, The Princess Bride, and Top Gun. I'm your second choice with Aliens, Die Hard, The Thing, When Harry Met Sally, Coming to America. Brian is sitting in the number 3 chair with Raiders of the Lost Ark, Return of the Jedi, Goonies, Gremlins, and The Breakfast Club. And Jermon Jackson is sitting in the 4th chair with Ghostbusters, Empire Strikes Back, Back to the Future, Star Trek II, The Wrath of Khan, and The Karate Kid. And it is on him to kick off the back half of this, sir. What is your number 6 pick?
Number 6 pick, man. I'm gonna have to take this off. I'm surprised we haven't touched any of his movies yet, but let's go ahead and get Predator off of there.
Aha. Predator, you say? Yeah, that's somewhere on the list.
Yes, that's
prime.
prime. Yeah, prime Schwarzenegger right there.
Yeah.
Just
I agree. Prime Arnold. So many cheesy one-liners.
Yes.
I ain't got time to bleed.
I'm not sure there could be a movie that's summed up by a single frame better than Predator, because it's that shot at the beginning with Arnie and Carl Weathers.
oh, that you
and it's just
son of a
all
bitch.
bicep.
Yeah.
Dylan, son of a bitch.
I want to recreate that shot with me and someone who also has no muscles. So bad.
It's got to give that
Hey,
droopy
I'm right
Arnie.
here. I'm right here. I'm good.
So much open sleep. what do you like about the Predator so much, sir?
It's a weird movie. It was like, it looked like your classic 80s action movie and then just turns into a slasher flick out of nowhere. Like,
Yeah, it really does. It switches genres on you. It takes a little while to notice.
Yeah.
And it's all wrapped in science fiction.
yeah.
The whole
Yeah.
you've got an action movie that turns into a slasher flick with an underlying science fiction overtone. It's great. That's such a great movie. God.
It is. It's a good solid 80s.
Oh, yes.
As far as 80s action is concerned, like that's one of the ones you can go to and you're like, it's fun to have a good time, man.
For sure.
Yeah. All right then, Mr. Martin, it's on you now.
Number 6.
Number 6.
I mentioned Muppets a little while ago. I think Muppets on the Sly was a big thing in the 80s, where it's like you don't realize you're watching Muppets, but you're definitely watching Muppets. And I had a couple movies to choose from here, but I'm going to go with Labyrinth for my number 6 pick.
Well,
nice.
that takes the indecision away from me.
Nice pull.
Yeah, it was between this and a couple other movies that were possibilities, but I think Labyrinth has the most legs in terms of getting out of the 80s and coming to present day in terms of people enjoying it, and also the legs of one Jennifer Connelly, who is, that's maybe one of the 3 things that launched me into puberty. So props to her. David Bowie, one of the other 3 things that launched me into puberty, oddly enough.
David Bowie's codpiece specifically.
Yeah, right. But that movie's
Surprised
got,
we haven't seen Tilda Swinton run around with the codpiece at some point.
Right.
and some amazing puppeteering work. It's there's nothing else like it. I think that movie, and I'm not sure there ever will be, because we don't have David Bowie with us anymore, and there will never be another David Bowie. So
someone please tell Tilda Swinton that.
Swinton, right? Yeah.
She is trying so hard and failing so much.
Yeah, so that's my number 6.
All right, right on.
Wow.
Here's a spicy tape for you. I've never seen Labyrinth.
Wow.
Nor have I.
Oh my God. That's not surprising.
What's the matter with this side of the table? Wow.
Coming soon from Poprika, Jamon's gaping blind spots.
Surprised that's not a show already, dude. Seriously.
on the series finale, we're going to find out that Jermon's never seen an MCU movie.
I was just fronting when he. Remember, y'all have never been to the theater with me to see these, so you don't know.
I have no idea what this gauntlet is I keep winning.
Yeah, one of these days I will get there. Okay, well done. All right, it is on me now. Labyrinth was number 13 on my list.
It was so high on your list and you've never seen it.
I played a
Man.
win, mofo.
Pandering.
Pandering.
I paid for the gauntlet. I want to keep the gauntlet. I guess I need to get back to my 80s action, because I haven't since really picks 1 and 2. So I'm going to go ahead and take Rambo First Blood Part 2.
Ooh.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Nice pull.
Yes.
Nice pull.
Yeah. Man.
80s as fuck.
It really is.
Yeah.
Some channels, some channel, I forgot what channel it is because I have the unfortunate displeasure of working on Saturdays. But every once in a while, there's like a good month straight where every Saturday it was Rambo First Blood Part 2 was playing back to back, and I'm like, well, I control these TVs, so we're watching Rambo First Blood Part 2 back to back. Unfortunately, last week they were showing the one that's just called Rambo, and I was like, let's see what else is on here. Berbers Warzone. Yeah, it's good. It's. Can I change my pick? Because now I just want to do First Blood Part 1 because that's so much better. I'm gonna stick with First Blood Part 2. That's where shit starts to go off the rails.
Oh yes, immediately.
But in a good way. Like it's just a good, solid action film. It's obviously completely different from your first Rambo movie, but you still got thin Stallone sucking in the gut. We got the classic red bandana going on there. There's so much happening. The betrayal, the guy up there in the helicopter that's fucking with him. So much is happening in that movie, and it's like, that's a dude I wish I could be. Just out there badassing it at all time. Didn't he choke the guy out with just his fingers in that one? Where he rips the guy's trach out? Is that the movie? I think that's in First Blood Part 2.
Well, that's Roadhouse, I think.
Oh shit! I forgot about Roadhouse.
Yeah, that whole montage of him just murking all those folks and stuff is just like
That applies to every Rambo movie, except the First Blood. But yeah, it's a good, solid action 80s action joint. First Blood.
Can you believe they made a cartoon out of that?
What?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And toys,
Yeah.
cartoon and toys, and
Toys,
man.
I understand. It's an action joint. You can sell toys of that shit, but a cartoon for
Yes.
Rambo?
yeah.
It was just,
I mean, Rambo.
Heroin flashback.
He was like he was like the Rambo and the Freedom Force or
Something
some
like
shit
that,
yeah.
It was like he had buddies.
Yeah.
Oh, also PTSD, dude. Run around having flashbacks at the worst possible times.
War's never over for those guys.
It's just a whole episode about grocery shopping, and artichoke rolls by. Grenade! Dives out the way.
But there was always a part at the end where he would come out and say, like, "Now, guys, we learned a very important lesson today about sharing your basketball when you're down on the court."
We're talking to you, Kobe.
look on both sides of the street before you cross it.
Because you never know what Charlie's going to be.
When Donnie didn't give Mrs. Francis to walk across the street, she's an elderly lady. You got to watch out for her.
You're right, Rambo. All right, Pete, it's on you.
That's the most awkward
Okay.
transition.
I had nothing, man. I just swing out.
Okay, so I'm picking twice, right? Like
Yes,
okay,
you are.
all right. I'm about to throw hands.
Here we fucking go.
First thing,
What did Carol Burnett do during the 80s?
goddamn everything. She's a national treasure, and you shut up.
She's no Lou Gossett Jr.
Don't you disrespect Carol Burnett.
That is no Lucas.
All right, so we're just gonna take Neverending Story off the list
Oh, well.
That
'cause
was the
it's-
other movie I was juggling between. The last
because it's the Neverending Story, and it's wonderful and great, and Stranger Things brought it back into the zeitgeist. And
Yes.
Yeah.
fantastic.
That's a good call. I
'Cause,
forgot about that part.
yeah.
Because everybody brings it's the song. Everybody's like, oh, the song, and then the song is intrinsically tied to the movie because the song is called the Neverending Story, and it's just what can you say about
I always think of Lionel Hutz's fraudulent lawsuit against the makers of the Neverending Story because it was false advertising because the story ended.
because the story ended right. Well, no, it says Bastion had many more adventures and kept. It says
True.
it does. It has a very quantum leap ending.
Yeah, it does.
Bastion never returned home.
Dr. Bastion never returned home.
Exactly.
Have you seen Neverending, Jermon?
It's been a long time since I've seen it. But
Yeah, same here. It's one of those ones as a kid. I was like, yeah, this is kind of fucking dope.
Yeah.
And
It
then it
is-
just kind of went away in my
The
head.
the best reference anybody ever made in my presence to that movie, just out of left field, was when I was watching Revenge of the Sith like on preview night, the night before it came out, with a bunch of my buddies from the movie theater. And my friend, remember there's that scene where like Obi-Wan goes to that sinkhole planet and all the people are made out of corduroy or something? Yeah. Like as that one leader that meets Obi-Wan is walking away, my friend said, "No, if you'll excuse me, I have a meeting at the Ivory Tower." And it just out of nowhere. I was like, "Oh my god!"
Oh my god! You know who that guy is? That's the Train Man actor.
It's
from
Bruce Spence.
Bruce
isn't it?
Spence, yeah. Bruce Spence, yeah.
Didn't even know that.
Thousands of battle droids.
Yeah. Anyway, Never Ending Story is great.
The Ivory Tower. That's hilarious. That's hilarious. All right. So the Never Ending Story, and then my next pick. You know what? I'm going to say right now, this will be the first time
that you might win.
Shut your mouth. Damn it. No, this would be the first time I'm actually actively pandering to Poprika.
So it will be the first time you might win.
This is I'm going after the female vote.
Oh.
I'm taking Dirty Dancing.
Oh, man.
Pete's finally
That was
That's what I thought. That's what I
man.
thought Daryl was going for when he was leaning towards the lady vote the first time with the Harry Met
Right.
Sally.
You know,
That
Dirty
was-
Dancing didn't even
That
make
was
it
a
on my
better.
list.
No kidding. Oh man, yeah.
Man.
Dirty Dancing is a heavy hitter. But the thing about it is like, on the one hand, it could be considered pandering, I guess, but on the other hand, I actually enjoy that movie.
Right.
I like Dirty Dancing a lot. It's a well crafted film. I think Patrick Swayze's great in it. It's Jennifer Grey has never looked hotter, in my opinion. Like. It's just
Who's she married to? Isn't she married to Bacon? No. Who's she married to?
her. Well, no.
Anyways.
Yeah, that's a Google search for another.
The point
time.
is, she may be available, folks. So.
Yeah, but now she looks completely different.
She does.
She's had some
Surgeries,
serious plastic
man.
surgery problems, and now she's
she's
literally a different person.
Jennifer Black now.
There's no. Okay.
Yeah, Dirty Dancing is a dope film. I watched it once, like you watching, was that, I think, When Harry Met Sally, just to check it off the board to say I watched it. And I was like, all right, that was pretty good.
I mean, the soundtrack, the dancing, the just everything about that. Guys, it's just good.
You seen Dirty Dancing?
Have not seen Dirty Dancing.
I'm gonna throw that out there. I actually haven't watched it either. I've
it's not
never
one of-
seen it.
Yeah, it's not one of those ones that was on my radar back then. You know.
It wasn't on my radar back then, not on my radar now. One and done for that one.
I have every intention of watching it because it's one of the episodes of Movies That Made Us on
Yeah,
Netflix.
that's the one.
And that's the
I
one
haven't
episode
seen.
I haven't watched because my intention is to watch Dirty Dancing and then watch that episode.
And then watch that episode.
But I just
yeah.
haven't had time to do it.
Right.
That movie is 100% a slice of Americana. It just is. So yeah, that's my back-to-back
That's
pick.
it.
Never Ending Story, Dirty Dancing.
That's
All right.
those.
Good,
Pete
good.
came to
Solid.
win.
Pete came
He's
solid.
swinging. He's swinging.
I'm going to go ahead and get back to my pandering as well. And Blade Runner is coming off the list.
You fucker. Are you serious? And I don't mean that because I have it on my list because it's not here. But god damn it.
I was like, hold up, you hate that movie. You fucking
I'd
hate
like
that
to
movie.
start off by formally announcing, fuck this movie. And proceeding from there to saying, fuck this movie, because this movie is slow, it's tedious, it's boring.
It's dry as fuck sometimes, man.
It's drier than white people chicken, man. I can't. Ow! I can't get down with this movie at all. It is boring as shit. The world they made, I will give Scott this. The world building is amazing in Blade Runner.
I'm going
It's
to
just
pick
the
this
story they
movie
put
and
in
shit
that-
on it. Is that what you're doing?
The story they put in this world, couldn't give a fuck about it.
Oh, wow.
Philip K. Dick shits on this movie. I'm sure he would have.
What?
Like literally on the cellophane this movie was filmed on. I don't understand it. I don't see it. 2049, a masterpiece.
You're breaking my heart right now, see. God.
I can't stand it. I watch it once a year to see why people love it, and once a year I'm like, well, that was a waste of my goddamn
Well,
time.
like here's my theory about Blade Runner. One of those cuts is going to do it for you. there's like 50
40,
cuts. Well, one time you're going to get the one and be like, yeah, I actually get it now.
Okay. Oh, okay. It was the extended theatrical director's version that did it for me.
It's the Snyder cut, man. That's
There's
the one. That's
Snyder
the
cut
one.
No.
Give me
The-
the Snyder cut of Blade Runner.
The butthole cut of Blade Runner is where it's at.
You're obsessed with this butthole cut.
I want to make it happen. If we can get the Snyder cut, there's no fucking reason we can't get the butthole cut is finished. They just need to put it out. They don't need to film anything. They don't need to get T Swift back on the set. They just need to put it out there.
I like it.
Fucking butthole cut.
We're going to campaign. Yes, we are for this butthole cut. What do you think about Blade Runner, Javon?
It dragged, man. It definitely did drag. I mean, and granted, I had seen it of course, maybe last year for the first time, in preparation to see 2049 or whatever. And I was like, man, this is. I mean, the world building is great. It looks beautiful, but that story kind of dragged on a bit for me.
Yeah, I agree. Mr. Martin, you are up next, sir.
Yeah, I am, and playing the role of Pete Lentz. Because I'm going to take RoboCop off the list.
Yeah, you are.
Verhoeven makes his appearance.
Yeah, finally, I
think
get
his only
RoboCop.
appearance, probably. No one can double Verhoeven this time.
Nah, I just RoboCop is one of those quintessentially '80s movies.
Very
I think.
80s.
I think if somebody made RoboCop today, it would be something totally different than what it was, right?
Oh, and they did, and it was.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Like we've got actual tangible proof of that.
Joel Kinnaman does not do well.
Bless his heart.
It's the thing that only corporate '80s America could have resulted in, right? And it's great. It's terrific. Terrific movie.
It is. Dead or
Yeah.
Alive, you're coming with me. Is one of the greatest lines, I think, possibly in film.
Yeah.
Dead or Alive, you're coming with me, and Come with me if you want to live. I think are two of the dopest lines. What's your thoughts on RoboCop there, Mr. Lynch?
We can devote
gonna
a
be
whole
speeding
podcast
through.
to
We
this.
only have 27 minutes
Going to be
left.
speeding through the last three picks here.
For my full commentary on this, please go back and listen to Poprika episode whatever.
It was the sci-fi
draft.
Yeah. I pontificated at length about my feelings about RoboCop. So
Yes.
the TLDR version, I think it's fucking great.
Done and done. All
I
right,
put stank on it. That's how good it is.
but Pete put stank on it. You know it's good.
Yes.
Jermon, it's time for your 7th and 8th pick.
All right. This one's probably going to piss somebody off on here. I know. I know for sure there's at least one person that this is going to piss off royally. Probably one of the most heartbreaking movies of the 80s. Transformers, the movie.
You son of a bitch!
Boom! Told you.
I actually just made a joke about this movie last night to a buddy that I said my G1 Optimus Prime is in only slightly better shape than Optimus Prime was when he was on that table turning gray at this point in my life.
Easily the best Transformers movie ever made.
Oh,
For fucking
Easily.
sure.
100%.
Low bar. Low
Also the only one with a Weird Al song in it.
Yes.
Take that for what you will.
Roll out.
Yes. Great.
Oh, German.
Pete pontificated at length about this as well in his
Yes,
interview
I
in
did.
isolation.
Yes, I did.
He talked about his love of the Transformers.
Great movie. Great.
Oh, you've just cut me to the quick, Jackson.
Yes.
That wasn't even on my list of possibilities. Oh, good call.
I'm
sir.
surprised Pete did not pick that earlier on.
Nah,
Okay,
well,
all right.
my first three picks,
Actually, I think we all saw that coming.
There were certain movies that are like each of us are probably guaranteed to pick, and that was
Yeah, right on.
But what's good though is that I pontificated about it during the interviews in isolation, so everybody in Poprika is going to think that's mine, and they're not going to vote for that shit because I don't win shit on Poprika.
That's your fault. You
I got-
don't win shit, Pete.
At this point, they're not going to know who I am.
I got strong enough picks on there to where it'll
I threw Blade Runner on there specifically to throw people off my sense. It's called a gambit, my friends.
right.
Is that what you do when what would you post on social media if you were in trouble?
Yeah.
I love Blade Runner. It's great. Steve's in trouble. We gotta go.
Please text me to talk about Blade Runner at 911. All right, then.
All right.
Good
Yes.
call, sir. And what's your second choice?
Second choice here. Let's go another super 80s movie here. I think we've talked about this artist in a previous pick here, but I'm going to go with Purple Rain.
Oh!
Yes. Yes, sir. Oh my God.
Yeah.
That movie, as a kid, that movie taught me everything I needed to know about sex, man. That is the sex. Apollonia, good God.
You may need to learn a little bit more at this point.
God, this is the wildest draft ever.
That shit, man.
Okay, all right.
Apollonia.
I didn't,
Man.
like, if you didn't know who Prince was, like, after seeing that shit, it's like, oh my God. Like,
Moore's Day in that
Oh,
movie.
yes.
yeah.
I want to see
Fucking
some asses
hilarious.
wiggling.
So great.
So great.
Oh, wee, oh, wee, oh.
As far as musicals go, Purple Rain is like 2 or 3 on my list.
Oh,
Purple Rain is
easily.
amazing.
Easily. That was I went and saw it. Last time I saw it was right after he died. They did that theatrical re-release for like a night or two, and I went and saw it again, and it's like, I mean, there's a lot of problematic elements in that movie.
Oh, yeah. Hell yeah.
But like, it's unbeatable for what it is. Like, it's perfect.
I don't know. Michael Jackson's Moonwalker's pretty awesome.
Yes, it is. yes, it is. I
Joe
got on
Pesci in it,
VHS
I mean,
somewhere.
yes.
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
Joe Pesci in there.
Moonwalker is pretty cool.
It's something. It's something. All right. All right. Good call. Good
Yeah.
call.
Oh, that's a
All right.
good
Purify
call.
yourselves in the waters of Lake
Whoa,
Minnetonka.
man. Yeah.
Still a great running
Yes.
joke for everybody.
I'm sorry. I should clarify. I was making a joke. I'm not trying to insinuate that Moonwalker is in any way
Right,
better
okay.
than Purple Rain. Good. I just
We know. We know.
I was just fucking around, and then you all agreed with me. It's like shit. I need to, make sure.
Moonwalker is good. I love
I
that
know
movie.
it's like Moonwalker, man. That was
It's
my
pretty cool, but it's
I wish they had put that on a Blu-ray. Like,
Right? All right. Martin.
Oh, is it me again? That's fun. I am going to go animated on
No,
this one.
no. Don't you even think about it. That's my next pick, damn it.
Uh-oh.
Yes.
Oh, because I have two options here.
play to
Don't-
win.
Don't
One
pick
of
the
them,
win.
one of them was an option that was a real dark horse, and the other one is Akira, and I'm going with Akira.
I knew it. I told you this was going to get cutthroat.
There's a little X right here. On the list. That's where you pick Akira. Is what that little X was. Right?
Oh, I know it. I know it.
I got it on my list too. I knew something.
Fucking
Yeah.
dick.
There's nothing. All right, so there may be more influential anime movies for Eastern audiences. I don't fucking know, but I know there's no more influential anime movie for Western audiences than Akira. And for a lot of people, like anime was just Speed Racer and Robotech. But
Yeah.
this comes along and it's like, what the hell is this? This is different and special.
Look at Seed, so mad.
But here, now they're definitely going to think I'm
He's
you.
so mad.
There's no question they're going to think I'm you now. With Raiders and Akira on my list.
I don't really pontificate on my love of Akira all that much in
Yeah.
Poprika. I kind of, we really don't talk about it too much in Poprika. But I love the shit out of that movie.
It's something. Really
I remember you being pissed when I drafted the sci-fi draft.
I'm never going to get Akira. Somehow, we're going to have the next draft.
Anime draft.
Still won't get it. It's going to be top Akira movies, and I still won't get it. That movie in Blu-ray is gorgeous.
Yeah. Oh, God. It'd have to be.
I told a friend like 2 or 3 days ago, I'm actively searching for a good quality orange leather pill jacket. Like, that's going to be my winter purchase.
I've seen some people that had some that they ordered or whatever, but the ones I've seen online just don't look all that
Yeah,
great.
they're not quite there. Or the ones that do are like fucking $400.
Yeah.
So there's no good in between. So there's got like a like an Adidas like tracksuit version, like a lightweight version, but I want like
That's not it.
you want the
legit.
You want the
leather.
jacket.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the jacket. Good call.
Good pull,
Good
man.
call. I mean,
Akira's
look,
so good.
Even Kanye ripped that off for his video.
Oh, yeah.
It's so damn good. All right, well, I mean,
Still the whole list.
Do you want to
out
know what
now.
my
Just
second
throw it all
choice
out.
was there?
yeah, what was it, like Fist of the North Star?
No, it was The Little Mermaid.
You have that one, sir.
Hey,
That's actually on my list.
It
too.
started
That's on my
the
list.
Disney Renaissance.
Yeah,
that
it
certainly
led
did.
to
It
the
certainly
greatest run of Disney films. So.
Yes.
All right.
It had a seagull in it. That's why I picked it.
I guess I'll.
Look at him shuffling his papers.
Oh, you just threw his whole
Your
game plan
Akira
off.
fucked him right up.
that was my ace in the hole for the back half. Of
We
my
can
list.
randomize the back end for you, like we did for me.
I'm gonna go ahead and take. I'm gonna take Evil Dead 2.
Oh, let's
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
That is a number 10 alternate for me. So
You
out of the
have
running
a
now.
weird list of like you do alternates for numbers that I don't quite understand.
I have a top 10 and an alternate top 10, and that's how I go through this. I don't have 1 through 20. I have 2 top 10s.
I literally that's a thought
So that way it's
process.
just, that way it's just a switch out.
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Very, very organized. Very
See, I
collaborative.
usually just do top 10 and then just a list of alternates, and that's it.
Yeah, that's what I did for a long time.
Okay, all right. Evil Dead 2, I think, is the best of. Like a lot of people love Army of Darkness, but
But you can't have Army of Darkness without Evil Dead 2. Like
Yeah.
to me, they're companion films.
they are. I feel like if you watch one, if you get the time, you kind of gotta. You're obligated to sit down and watch the other one right after that. But they took one, they gave a little bit more budget, and this is what you end up with. I think the characters are great. That whole like. The daughter of the people who let this shit loose in the world when she shows up, and the 2 idiots that she brings with them, the dude who just passed away I think like a week or 2 ago, Bobby Joe. I think Bruce Campbell is at his finest form. My favorite scene is when the entire house is fucking with him and laughing, and he's bouncing up and down.
I was
The
just
lamp
thinking
is-
about that. I was just thinking about that.
Deer head.
It's so indulgently Raimi. Like
Yeah.
that first movie is like, yeah, it's neat, it's inventive, but it's not Sam Raimi.
Yeah.
Evil Dead 2 is Sam Raimi off the rails.
And you get a little bit of that in Spider-Man too. with
Unchecked.
the
Oh yeah,
Doc Ock, that Doc Ock
absolutely.
scene.
That's why I'm so excited
They
about the new
lean-
Doctor Strange now, because
Yeah.
it's like we're gonna get some really
They
weird shit.
leaned into the camp in Evil Dead 2.
Yeah, and it's more psychological than anything. Like the house is just fucking with him the entire time.
Yeah.
I love that. All right then, Pete, it's time for your 2, and we got 18 minutes left.
Yes. Oh,
Let's move this
through
along.
it, yeah.
Oh yes.
To it.
Oh, okay. Coming up at number 8.
Sounds like Casey.
Come on, Casey.
Kasem.
Casey. Oh, beat me to it.
Coming up at number 8, one of Tim Burton's finest. We're going with Beetlejuice.
Oh,
All right.
All right, I thought Brian was going to pull that.
I
one
didn't
out.
because it was on my comedy draft. So I'm like, I want to go in a different direction.
I
Now,
had
I
that
could
on
have
my-
easily put Pee-wee's Big Adventure on my list. Because, oh my God. But it's not. But I
Tell
could've.
him Large Marge.
39. Tell him Large Marge sent you. Like whenever somebody mentions that's the first thing that comes to my head.
yes.
So Beetlejuice, obviously, that business, as you say.
I do.
It's, I mean, it's Beetlejuice. It's another one of those movies like The Princess Bride that's just 100% Americana. Like it's in our brains. It's woven into the fabric.
Are you sure about that?
I believe you're right. And I think it's like Evil Dead, because it's like Pee-wee's Big Adventure, there are hints of Burton in it. Mm-hmm. And you can tell, like, when you go back and watch it after watching a bunch of Burton movies, you're like, oh, I see his fingerprints all over this. But
Yeah.
it's like the difference between Pee-wee's Big Adventure and Beetlejuice, where it's like Burton is like an established guy now, he can kind of do what he wants,
Yeah.
is colossal. And
Yeah.
Beetlejuice is like just scooped out of Burton's head
Yep.
and put on celluloid.
Yep. And Michael Keaton. You said it earlier about chewing scenery. Michael Keaton chews every single bit
yes.
of celluloid that he is on in this film. Every time he's on screen, it's something amazing. It's just every time.
I love when he's going over his qualifications with him. Ah, well, I attended Juilliard.
Yeah, it's wild.
And
It's
once
wild
again,
as shit.
just weird musical choices like Harry Belafonte. What is
that
going on
alone.
with Burton?
All right, Pete, what's your next
All
one?
right. So next up after that, a movie that I think is, and I'm totally torn on this, but I think a movie that is absolutely quintessentially 80s, The Lost Boys.
Yes.
That's going to get you a vote or two.
Good
Sir,
call.
Yes, sir. Good pull.
That's actually kind of why I chose it among the other stuff that I had, was because I bet that's gonna pull some votes right there.
Gonna pull some ladies.
The Lost Boys, yeah, Kiefer Sutherland being awesome,
the Corys.
Jason Patrick existing.
Look, when was the last time you heard a horn that played La Cucaracha? That's
Yeah, but the Corys, you got that's just that movie's just great.
Yeah.
It's very very soon that will be some required watching for my kids sometime.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very good. Very good, sir. Very
Solid,
good.
solid.
That is solid.
Good pick.
Oh, shit. It's on me.
You can't have Akira.
Yeah, that really fucked up. Like I was rolling, I was kind of confident. I was like, if I get a cure out of that, it's it. It's a wrap. I'm blowing this out the water. I'm gonna go ahead, take a little bit of a turn here. Spike Lee, Do the Right Thing.
Oh,
Yeah, there you go.
I was thinking of closing with that, but I was like,
I thought
yeah.
I was like, let me sneak this from Jermon just in case.
Yes.
Look, Do the Right Thing is one of the most prevalent movies out there right now.
Oh yes, one of the most culturally relevant movies.
Yeah, very culturally relevant. For
sure.
In the hottest summer on the hottest block, man. You got characters fucking bugging out Giancarlo Esposito, young Giancarlo Esposito in there. That's where you get Sal's Famous Pizzeria from. Danny Aiello, rest in peace to him.
Yeah. Was it John Turturro? Was he
John
one of the
Turturro
brothers?
is
One of
his
Sal's
sons. One of the racist one.
Yeah.
Yeah, the one who just wanted to get the hell up off the out the block. Where Sal's like, look, man, we're established here. We're respected here.
Sam Jackson's kind of like he was
The narrator,
DJ,
the
but kind of
DJ.
the narrator.
Yeah, you got Ossie Davis and Ruby Dee,
Yes.
the married people who hated each other.
Yeah.
Mookie, that gave us Rosie Perez.
Rosie Perez.
I mean, like you're naming all these people, and it's like such an ambitious movie, like as an ensemble piece, for Spike Lee to have done as early as he did.
It's like his third movie.
Yeah, I mean, it's really early in his career, and to pull off something like this that just boils and boils, and it's like this powder keg that just explodes.
Yeah, when it explodes hard.
It's great. Like it's like one of those movies. It's like maybe you should just stop making movies now. You kind of peaked.
Yeah.
I don't know that anything you ever do will be better. And he's done some great stuff since then. But
I don't know.
Nothing
has matched
nothing's
this.
touched.
Nothing is
That's like his
close.
Pulp Fiction, basically.
It really is. I think it really is.
Yeah.
And it's it's so much. The cop choking out Radio Raheem. And you're just like, oh, here we fucking go. That's what you need. To move down the trash can is what really set the whole thing off. Through that plate glass window. So much good shit in there.
Yes.
Mr. Martin, your ninth, your penultimate.
Well, my number 9 pick is also kind of fairly relevant in modern times. As there's a person who's been falsely accused of a crime. There is a indeterminate force of enforcers coming after him using extreme measures to hold people accountable for their crimes or not crimes at all, and that is Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
Damn it.
Before there was Avengers Endgame.
The most ambitious.
Wow.
I mean, it still kind of blows my mind that Roger Rabbit exists as a movie with so many. It's like drawing from every single classic cartoon
Yes.
of the 30s, 40s, and 50s and just cramming all of them into one movie. And everybody, it's like Disney and Warner Brothers were like, yeah, you can use Bugs and Mickey, but they have to get precisely the same amount of screen time.
Yeah.
And Daffy and Donald have to have precisely the same amount of screen time. And that scene between the two of them is so brilliant with the dueling pianos. There are so many great things about this movie. And technologically, it still blows my mind that they were able to pull off the interplay between animation and real world stuff with the animatronic stuff that they then animated over top of to get Eddie Valiant moving and get him to push Roger's head down into the sink. It's just like there's so many little technological things that you almost don't notice it when you're watching it. But if it hadn't been there, it would have stuck out like a thumb. Yeah, sort of,
sure.
Just technologically and just as a fun movie.
I'd like it known that you just picked my fucking pocket because that was my last pick. Roger Rabbit was good. That was the end.
Nice.
That was it.
When I put that on my list, I was like, this is going to be a Brian Martin choice, right?
It's definitely that is a classic Brian Martin choice.
Before Endgame.
All right, then. Mr. Jackson, it's
Last
time
two
for your
picks.
9 and a 10.
Okay.
So you got to finish it out strong.
Yes. Let's do this strong here. Now, when we think 80s, like one of the big things that happened during the 80s was the Cold War. And this is probably
here
the
we
most
go. Here we go.
unlikely movie to deal with the Cold War.
Oh yeah,
Spies Like Us?
Rocky.
Rocky 4.
Yep.
Yes, sir, Vic.
I got to pull that off my list. That was,
Throw
that was
the
on there
damn
too.
towel.
Yes.
Throw the damn towel.
To see a man get killed during an exhibition fight is like what?
Yeah, it's a wild bit of business,
Yes.
that movie, man. That Star Trek 6 is
Yeah, you
what
had-
killed the Cold War.
You had all that and James Brown and like just
the dopest, hypest song ever
Yes,
to come out.
living in
sir.
America. Shit.
But then you also get Hearts on Fire too.
Yes,
Hearts on Fire montage song.
Probably one of the best like Rocky montages.
Hell yeah, for
Yes.
sure.
Yeah, it's definitely one of the best rock songs.
Taking it old school in the snow and all that stuff.
Yeah, because it was a nice juxtaposition between Dolph Lundgren's high-tech training and all the like the precision that they put in,
And the
measuring in him
roids.
and the roids, and then it's just like Rocky like punching meat in the snow,
Lifting
my log.
Just punch people. Well done, sir.
sir.
What is your 10th?
10th pick. Do I go this? Do I go this? No, let me just go ahead and pull this off here. I'm actually surprised. Yeah, let me go ahead and pull E.T. off there for my last pick.
You know what, man?
Whew.
I kept thinking about it. I
Me
kept
too.
thinking
Yeah,
about
I was
it.
I kept thinking about it too. Yeah.
I was like, because I know the Raiders and Last Crusade, the only like Spielberg picks that came off of there, but E.T. man, that was that business back in the '80s. And
Yeah.
It
Oh,
was.
yeah.
It
Yeah.
was. Though it's towards the bottom of my Spielberg filmography. Like it's just one I don't go back to a lot.
I think it's the one. It's one of those movies that when you think about like, I think about like Animaniacs when they always had something like happen and they're like how Spielbergian. I think E.T.
Yeah,
That's
okay.
that little sense of wonder and everything.
That's the first movie I remember seeing as a kid.
Yeah.
The very first, earliest
Yeah.
theater memory is E.T.
Definitely,
Really?
definitely.
And it was my alternate for Gremlins.
Probably and probably
before
started my love for Reese's Pieces.
Oh yeah, for years I have I shared this before?
Yes.
The cereal thing,
Yeah,
how I
you
thought
said.
E.T. would taste like peanut butter.
You were ridiculous there.
And I still do.
And let's run down Jermon Jackson's list real quick. 1, Ghostbusters. 2, Empire Strikes Back. 3, Back to the Future. 4, Star Trek II, The Wrath of Khan.
Jesus
5,
Christ.
The Karate Kid. 6, Predator. 7, Transformers the Movie. 8, Purple Rain. 9, Rocky 4.
it.
10, E.T.
I lose this. If I lose this,
Will he bring in Brandy Blanton? Because he will
just-
not come
I
back.
can't do it anymore after this. I've got nothing left.
Throw in the
after
damn
this.
towel.
Yes.
You know, people are going to think that's me. There's a bunch of
Transformers
a bunch
are gonna-
of-
yeah.
There's a bunch of shit on that list that's come off my previous list.
There's going
I'm
to be a
like,
lot of
motherfucker.
confusion. There could be a lot of confusion on this one.
Wild business. All right, Mr. Martin, it is your final pick time. Don't snipe my final pick.
My
please.
final pick is not a Spielberg movie, but people often think it's a Spielberg movie. It was directed by Tobe Hooper.
Poltergeist.
Poltergeist.
Oh, I was
is my
going to say
last pick.
arachnophobia.
That's- My cursor is literally on Poltergeist.
Yeah.
Like you keep sniping me, Brian.
Yeah.
This is literally the first time I've thought of that movie since then.
Yeah, Poltergeist is that shit
Yes.
fucked me
Oh,
up.
my
Oh,
God.
Poltergeist. Poltergeist is what put houses built on Indian burial grounds on the map.
I think greedy industrialists put houses on Indian program on the map.
You only move the headstones.
And it's creepy enough. And then Zelda Rubinstein shows up, and it's like, she's the good guy? Like, stay in there. Don't come out. She's creepy.
I could handle everything, and as a kid, I handled everything in that film except for the scene where dude pulls his face off.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
Oh, where he's in the bathroom.
yeah,
he's just
and like the light turns
sloughing
red,
off.
and then he starts and skin just starts sloughing
Dripping
off
to
his
the
head,
sink.
and and the steak that crawled, and then maggots came out. Like
it's probably the first horror genre movie I ever saw, like, as a kid.
All right, cool. Yeah, it's if you want to listen to our thoughts on it, or me and Carol's thoughts, Refried Scenes, we did the original Poltergeist and then the Sam Rockwell one from 2016.
I listened to that one. I actually listened to that one. That was pretty good.
Yeah. All right, Brian's list: Raiders of the Lost Ark, Return of the Jedi, Goonies, Gremlins, Breakfast Club, Labyrinth, RoboCop, Akira, Who Framed Roger Rabbit, and Poltergeist.
That is a potent,
Damn,
solid
there's a
list
lot of-
too,
yeah,
bro.
there's a lot of good movies in the 80s.
Damn.
All right, well, my last pick will be Clue.
Wow. Okay.
That was on my-
Good,
that was
good.
on my list.
So
Good
go
pull,
ahead and
good
pull
pull.
that one off.
Another timeless
You know what
comment.
it is? It's Tim Curry just doing what he does. Christopher Lloyd, just a zany, goofy murder mystery is what that is, and it is well worth the watch if you've not seen it. And if you have seen it and haven't seen it in a while, go back and do yourself all the favors. My list: Aliens, Die Hard, The Thing, When Harry Met Sally, Coming to America, Rambo: First Blood Part 2, Blade Runner, Evil Dead Part 2, Do the Right Thing, and Clue.
I think people are going to think that's Jermon.
Yes, probably.
Yes,
I
they
think,
are.
I think
yes.
you've sufficiently thrown the scent.
Which would
Yes,
make me even
absolutely.
madder if it ends up winning.
I'm pretty sure I threw people off my scent fairly well on this one. And Lentz, the last choice. Number 40
you
goes
go.
to you.
All right, so I have to pick one of the greatest comedies of all time.
Blues Brothers.
Spinal Tap.
All of those made my list, jackasses. So, no,
We know.
since all the Star Wars films that I would have
Yeah,
picked
okay.
got taken,
Okay.
we're gonna go ahead and go with Spaceballs.
Yeah,
good pull.
Yeah,
Oh,
that was on my list.
wasn't even on my list.
I mean, what can be said about Spaceballs that hasn't been said everywhere else forever? It's it's one of the best Star Wars movies. It's absolutely amazing. It's endlessly quotable. Written by Mel Brooks, king of
Everything.
yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
he's the best. He's fucking Spaceballs, bro.
Fucking Spaceballs. So let's go ahead and wrap this up with Pete's list.
I think Pete should be allowed to choose one movie to take the place of his top pick.
Unfortunately, we have no time for that.
Of course you don't. All right, go ahead.
Friday the 13th.
I earned that.
Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. Batman 89. The Princess Bride, who's Pete's first pick. Top Gun, Never Ending Story, Dirty Dancing, Beetlejuice, The Lost Boys, and Spaceballs.
That's still pretty fucking solid.
Yeah,
man.
you did all right, Pete.
Yeah, the randomizer did you some favors.
The randomizer did give me a
It's
favor.
really funny to think that somebody at the table was just like, Friday the 13th, best of the 80s.
Oh, yeah, this is going to
But
be
it still deserves to be on the list.
complete shit show. So as always, this will go up on the page anonymously for all you Poprikans to vote on. Man, the episodes will be out sometime in a week. We give this whole voting thing a week, and we will see who was the winner of the 1980s draft. Until then, hope you guys enjoyed this bit of silliness. Take it easy, and we'll see you in the fall for the next draft. Have a good one.